and welcome to the He Doesn't Want a podcast, sponsored by Learner Trust Driving School and Drumbo Park. I'm glad to be here with Joe McNeill from Crumlin Star Football Club. Joe, how's keeping?
Okay, mate. Just really this week, first week, sort of back in the office of work and things like that. So really enjoying getting back to work. The only thing right now, I should be sitting in Cancun, Mexico. So that's a bit of a bummer.
We're getting back to normality, but you still can't get a holiday yet.
Aye.
Well, mate, we've all had to suffer it. So unfortunately, we're just all having to keep going until we can get back to full normality and get our holidays, more importantly.
100%, mate.
Yes, that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into questions about yourself. First of all, just for anybody who doesn't know you, who's listening in, tell us a bit about your background. Where did you start in football? And what's brought you back to Crumlin Star where you are now?
I started football with Crumlin Star, ironically. Played, I think we were myself and Stephen Brown, David Murphy, Kieran Murphy. I think they were the first memories of the boys who were in our team.
Yeah.
And we played for Crumlin Star under 10s when we were 6. Right. So, to be honest, Gary, I think we got about a combined total of 25 minutes between us, the four of us, because we were so young in the first season. But again, training with the boys, actually learning their trade of football, and then progressed us on in terms of where we wanted to be or where we could be when we were under 8, under 9, under 10. I think I played at until about under 11, and then the age changes. It came in where no longer, remember it used to be school years. You played with your school, then dropped back to the birth date. So a couple of us it worked out for, a couple of us it didn't, because I was born in August. So the ones who were a year older in school, you were playing with them. And we actually, it meant I was playing for Crumlin Star team. I was playing sort of 2 years above myself. Yeah. So it just wasn't flourishing no more in terms of the team and all that there. So I joined Ardoyne Youth Club and played there for about a year, and then moved to St. Pat's. Yeah. So by that stage, we turned into North Belfast United. Right. And we grew a huge force within like the young football of Northern Ireland. Like we win the Northern Ireland. Oh, sorry, we didn't. That's the only thing we did win. We won plenty of down and counter leagues, championship champions, and things like that. But to be honest, at St. Pat's, first couple of years played a lot, and then as we got stronger, I never played that much. So our team was absolutely superb. We had Marty Donnelly playing in the Irish League now for Lauren, Dee Manning, Niall Devane, David Murphy, Saucy, a load of boys from the West, Michael Henderson, Orange Jack, all but Stephen Devane. Our team was absolutely littered with quality players. Yeah. But it's unfortunate that there was only 2 boys in that team who played Irish League, was myself and Marty Donnelly, because that team should have had 10, 15 Irish League players. But it's the nature of the communities we go up in, the pressures that come in touch with it, and just the roadblocks in your way, which happens where football no longer becomes a priority, which was unfortunate. So it was. After that, where to go? I went back to Ardoyne Youth Club. Thomas Turley became our manager. They were sort of when I started to see, as we got older, I started to see myself here. I'm actually becoming okay at this. Now, as the fitness started coming in, I love running. I still do love running, but as the fitness came in, I realised that I could get about the pitch a hell of a lot better than a lot of our boys. Yeah. I realised that in the last 25 minutes of the game that I was shining and our boys were absolutely blowing. So that's when I started to become sort of realised that, right, I could do okay at this. And then after that, I signed for Glentoran. Signed for Glentoran under 18s. Michael Whitley was our coach. Yeah. I think it was the Nottingham Forest scout or something. I don't even know where Michael is now. I haven't heard his name about football in a way. So when we went over there, the only issue we had, guy was travel. My mummy or daddy didn't drive. Right. So I was on the boat trying to scrounge lifts here, there and everywhere. I was about 17 at the time. I didn't drive, or 16 or 17. I didn't drive myself. But at this time, Eamon Hawkins had just took over as Crumlin Star first team manager in 2A. So Eamon had continuously said to me, Joe, if you're not able to get up there, why don't you just train with us? If you're not able to make training for Glens, because it was a bit of a nightmare. So we ended up doing a few sessions with Star senior team in 2A. So our team was Anto Bromwich, Kieran Reid, Saucy Brown, Packy Collins, Mickey Keenan, Hagate, all boys like that. We had an absolute quality team. That an absolute quality team, and what I played against ourselves forward a lot. So
Yeah.
it was, we were sort of we were always beating about promotional spots ourselves, yourselves. Who else came good one year? Can't really remember, a couple of teams. But at the time, obviously, we were like yourselves. We had no pitch, so it was very troubling. So it was in order to try and get promoted. But
many years do you end up in 2A? Do you went 2A twice before you got promoted eventually? Or was it 3 times?
I think it might have been twice. See,
Yeah.
I never won 2A myself, so it didn't get.
Right.
Because by the time I was 18, I got offered to go on a football scholarship to America.
That's right, yeah.
So I went, got offered that. I got actually offered it one day in Boxing Day in the Star by Michael O'Neill. I was absolutely full. So it was when he said to me about going. And I told him, no problem, I'd be here. Lo and behold, I learned this after a while. And Michael's a man of sort of his word. So he was down my door next morning with papers, ready to get me signed up. And I think I was still a wee bit half cut from the night before. And I was like, Jesus Christ. A couple of days later, I was like, oh, what have I done? Am I going to America here? But then, all of a sudden, I never really heard much about it. And then, next thing, 2 months later, the manager from America comes over, Nigel Bolton, a Welsh guy. So he comes over and meets my mummy and daddy and things like that. And I was just like, all right, this is actually happening. So I had to get me SAT and things like that. So I got offered a football scholarship in America, and it was absolutely super. So that was one of the best experiences I ever had in terms of football, friendships, learning. And again, actually come home with no debt after achieving a business degree. Right. So it's not many people from Ardoyne not many people who go through university and have no debt at the end of it. And it was absolutely super. The only people I was indebted to was my parents, who sort of looked after me when I was out there, and my family, who were super in terms of support. So, but then come home in 2011, and to be honest, coming home, one of the reasons why I did come home was that I wanted to continue to play football. See, after college, unless you make you have A-League, we were Mississippi guys, so see in terms of A-League teams and all that there was no one really about us, and you would have had to go and like do weeks trials in Dallas and Houston and all that there, and see when you're a student, you're skint. Yeah. So see, trying to afford all that, no, it just wasn't possible. So I ended up coming home, and when I come home, I say for the Star initially. Right. Debut back was for actually the seconds. Me and Barry McCurvey made our debuts back again for the Star, playing for the seconds. We played against Barn United. I think Barry scored 2 and I scored 2 maybe on our debuts. We beat Barn Seconds 4-0. But then we into the first team, and next week we played Rathfreyland. So this was in 1B at the time. Yeah. Rathfreyland started the sort of, this when they had the money rolling in terms of boys coming in and ex-Irish League boys and all that there. But we beat them 4-0 down there, so we did. Barry actually scored 4, Bricky. Yeah. He scored about 3 wonder goals, and I had an absolute nightmare. I come on for about 15 minutes, and oh jeez, the abuse I got afterwards. Getting called Joe Montana, getting called, why don't you go back to America? You play American football over there. So got absolutely destroyed by the lads, which is part and parcel of why we love playing for our local clubs. So, but after that, I got in a couple of weeks later and sort of never looked back. Yeah. I made the Rose Bowl team when we played in 1B. Eric Holiday coaches. We beat Scotland in penalties. And then I'd had an opportunity to sign for Glentoran or Portadown. And because of the way I was treated when I went to Portadown, I ended up signing there. Yeah. My daddy was good friends with Stu Trainer, our current manager, who at Crumlin Star. So he was the one who came to the house, him and Eddie Patterson. My daddy was actually good friends with him and sort of wanted me to go towards Glentoran. But I was the way I was treated by Ronnie McFall and all the lads down at Portadown, it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. See before going to the Ice League career, I have so many questions about your younger career. First of all, you touched on earlier about your North Belfast United St Pat's team that so many players that were so good, and then they just never played Ice League. And then you always find that, especially teams you said about the community you grew up in as well, means that sometimes you find some of the best players you grew up with start to turn to drink when they're about 15, 16, 17. And then these are boys you probably thought would have went across the water, and they never did. I grew up in West Belfast myself, so I've seen that as well. And then there's other boys as well who just maybe just stop playing football at a certain stage. It's almost as if youth football is just the height of what they want to do, and then that's it, to stop. But it's something you find all the time in, like, especially working class communities like yourselves. Is that something you see a lot around the place? Like, even kids in younger teams than you who you maybe knew are going to be a cracker, and then they get to a certain stage and it just stops.
Most definitely, Gary. It's, you don't know where it's the sort of peer pressures within the communities in terms of drugs, alcohol, gambling, addictions, all things like that, to sort of spiral out of control and take over their lives. Or it's maybe the pressures their parents put them under in order to be successful. That when they able to make their own decisions, to turn around and go, my daddy or my mummy's put me through this much pressure and pain, traveling 4 nights a week to here and everywhere to go to soccer schools, that I don't want it no more.
Yeah.
No, it's just not what I want. And maybe it's just a simple fact that you fall out of love with it.
Yeah.
And it happens. It's like everything. It's like every hobby or sport. I believe I'm just lucky enough that I haven't, and I'm still in love with it as much now as I was when I was 21.
Yeah.
I am, and and this COVID has made me understand how much I really do love it. No, I love going to training, and I love seeing the boys. Or some of our boys, even at Crumlin Star, you can't even get them to training. So you can't. I don't know what it's like before, but you have the same culprits every week.
Yeah.
Message is doing this, message is doing that. Just sometimes you're just like, Jesus, lads, come on, take a wee bit of control.
Yeah, but do you think the dedication? You obviously love football so much that, especially when you got that knock on the door saying you're going to America, although you were half cut, did that give you a real motivation to think, I can actually make something of football here? You see so many people given those opportunities and they don't take it, whereas you had
Yeah,
that opportunity and you took it with both hands and you ran with it.
yeah. Guys, see, one of the reasons why I think I lost it the 4 years. You see, I see so many kids who go to, and I see so many people older than me. So look at even Barry Johnson, Connor Downey. They went to the same college as me, so they did. They
Right.
went to William Carey College also. Two smashing footballers. But Barry and Connor went over at the thought of, we're just going over to play football. Where in my head, I went to Somalgi, so it is. So in my head, I had school and education as part of my thinking also.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was going to university regardless. So in my head, I was saying, this is a great chance for me to get a degree and expand my horizons. And I met one of my best friends out there for life, who actually he came out with me, Brendan Conway. He's still out there now. He's coaching he's making a great career out there. He's coaching a junior college team. He's about to get married here next year, so he is.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And then I've one of my best friends in Dublin. He's married out there as well. So it's class. Now some boys it is for them, and they want to stay out there for life. But I just wanted to continue my football career.
Yeah,
And
the good thing was you didn't come home early. You finished your degree. You done what you needed.
Yeah, finished my degree, 100%. I was always finishing my degree.
Yeah.
So it was.
Okay. And then once you come home, then so straight away back to the Star. So it seems to be then when you feel comfort, Crumlin Star is the place to go to. Then take it.
Oh, 100%. It's my home away from home in terms of my personality, my football, my friends are there, my brothers are there, my family, my daddy has played for them, my uncles play for them. So that is in terms of home away from home, Crumlin Star. That's where I go.
Yeah, and then once you 1B Rose Bowl team, and then you moved on to the Portadown. So tell me what happened at Portadown? How'd you go there?
First I started Portadown like a house on fire. I got man of the match in Europa League games. We played qualifiers. I think I hit the crossbar twice away from home, and at home when we won, I think I let on the goal. I let on the equaliser, and then Ross Redmond actually scored the winner. So first game of the season, Lisburn Distillery scored and got man of the match in that game also. So seeing I started like a house on fire, I was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
And then about 8 weeks into the season, it was actually 15th of November, so probably about 3 months into the season, my daddy passed away.
Right.
So, and then from then, just the Portadown. Took me about after Christmas before I could actually even get my head around to
Yeah.
even love football.
Yeah.
So I was asking myself so many questions and asking things so many questions, like just others so many questions that why my daddy died so young compared to anyone else's and things like that. So again, it's not. Some people use football as an escape in that way. Where I
Yeah.
just struggled at that time. I was only 22. I struggled to find it as an escape.
Yeah.
I found it as actually a burden, and I never loved it. I never pushed myself. I never tried as hard. So, but
Would your dad have been involved in your football career much? You said earlier that
um,
your decision to go to Glen put it down.
you know, he wouldn't have. He would never have told me what to do. He would
Yeah.
never have told me what club I had to go to.
He
He
went
would
and
have
watched it
came.
as well,
He
but
would have went west a couple of times. He worked in Dublin and all that, so he did. So when he got up at the weekends, it was no. He at the mornings if he could have got a lift again, he never drove, so he was getting lifts to so many games and things like that.
yeah.
But whenever he got up, he used to absolutely ridicule us. Like he was never one for. It was a tough love kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in the Border Cup semi final, my first year back this store, we played Crumlin Star down there. So it was Lyshin, and he sat up in the bar, Crumlin and watched the match. Where everyone else was down, he struggled with his breathing, so he did.
Right.
So he when it was Lyshin and things like that, he would have had oxygen with him. So sitting and watching was a lot more comfortable for him. But even though that game, we weren't great. It was a battle. It was a bog field. So that game, I actually got man of the match again, and he absolutely ridiculed me. So we did. So, but again, it was sort of not that he always went. It was joke with a jag. He always says we wouldn't lace his boots and all that there. And I used to just slag him. How many medals have you got?
Yeah.
I slagged him. He played for Peter Pan, and he played for the Stars. So I used to slag him. He was playing 2C. No weighing them up like that, or 2B or whatever, Dunmurry League. Says, oh, that was far harder than that crap you were playing in. So just a bit of banter like that. But
Yeah.
but after that, so what had happened at the end of the season, got the opportunity. Clivenville had just won the league,
Right.
and I got the opportunity to sign for Clivenville. And being from Ardoyne and Tommy Breslin, I knew they were absolutely outstanding the season before when they won the league.
Yeah.
And when Tommy says to me, Gary Hamilton actually rang me and asked me to sign also. And it was very close to signing because in my head, I was saying, I have to go in there and try and replace Katz and Janty.
Yeah.
So it was, and their whole midfield was absolutely blessed with players. Their whole team was. So, but I said, the more I thought about it, is this, I'll never get the chance to play on a team like this.
Yeah.
Ever again. There's no way I can turn this down, regardless of how it works out. There's no way I can turn it down. But no, at the start of the signing for Clivenville, pre-season I was absolutely flying. So I was really enjoying it. Obviously the speed to play at, I had to work a wee bit harder. So I've done a good bit of work with Ricky McCann afterwards, who is superb.
Yeah.
And then I'd actually get in the squad for the Celtic game, for both Celtic games.
Right.
I was a wee bit. The only thing I was a wee bit good at. I was the only unused sub in both games. So
Right.
it was a 18-man squad, and I was the only player out of the 18 had to get. So afterwards, I was got it. But in hindsight, when I look at it, after the game at Celtic Park, I grabbed my stuff, got showered, when all the boys were in enjoying it and meeting the Celtic players and get into the home chase dressing room and all. I was more got it. I'm a Celtic fan all my life, guy, but I never got to enjoy it as much as I should have due to pure anger because I wanted to play.
Yeah.
But again, Brazzy, the man he is, appreciated that and came and spoke to me about it a couple of days later and says, Joe, I understand your anger and I understand you wanted to play. He says, but it's me, Brazzy, 100%. It's just me venting. So it was, but it's one of most things I regret in football, not enjoying that moment as much as I should have.
Because you're just wanted to play on the parquet pitch and
yeah,
play in general. You're there to play. You're not there to sit in the bench. So
well,
it's
100%.
hard to then control your emotions in a situation like that. To take it as well.
Yeah, but and then Cliftonville, then what? Claire. So who was it? I think Gianti got hurt against Warren Point. It was about 5 games in. We were getting beat 1-0 at half time or 2-0 at half time.
Yeah.
They played at actually Dungannon's pitch at the time.
Right.
So that was their first season in the league, and they couldn't play because their pitch wasn't up to scratch. So they played at Dungannon's pitch. So my first game really in the Clinville for the league come on at half time, and we actually won the game 3-2. So that in turn we started. I think I started 8 games in a row.
Yeah.
And we were absolutely flying. So I was feeling confident. I was getting used to playing with the boys again, and I was just absolutely loving it. And then we had one game against Glenavon where we should have been 15-0 up, and they nicked a goal in the last minute.
Right.
And then so that was, we could beat 1-0, and then a week after we were away to Ballymena, and it was 0 each to about the 60th minute or something, and then Tommy made a couple of changes, and I was wanting to come off. We ended up winning the game 2-0, and then just from that, he sort of kept the team at 1, and getting back in was tough. So it was, Gary. Now I had one match where absolutely was horrendous. We were 2-0 up. I come on against Portadown, and I give away the first goal. So that for them to come back, and they end up drawing 2 each. So in hindsight, I was like, Jesus, have I lost the trust? Has Tommy lost his trust in me?
Yeah.
But I came to about Christmas time, and sort of a New Year's Day. Boxing Day I wasn't involved in the squad at Crusaders. New Year's Day I wasn't involved at Coleraine, and I actually went with a reserves at Coleraine on New Year's Day, and I was just like, nah, I need to start playing again, because I hadn't really featured in about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was really, really frustrating, mate. You know yourself, you want to train to play. Even if I know I'm playing for the best team in the league and the best team in the country, but I wanted to play football. So I spoke to Tommy about going out and loan maybe, and I went up to Coleraine, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Signed up there 2.5 years, and it was absolutely super. So it was.
Yeah, because that was a Korean team which was rejuvenated. They're coming in, new coach, a lot of young players now.
Yeah.
Miskey Dorwick, he said he loved it at Korean as well, around the same time you were there.
It was super. Me and Miskey would have travelled to Gary Brown, Stephen Douglas, but some of the players played with at Coleraine were absolutely super. And then I seen the likes of, when they were my tail end of my Coleraine career, seen the likes of Lyndon Kane, Brad Lands, who else? Jamie McGonigal all coming through, and they're super players. And then I remember them 3 boys were on the bench. We travelled down to Ballinamallard. So we did. We beat Ballinamallard 2-0 that night, and the 3 boys were on the bench and never got on. I got on really well with them. I don't know if I had a great connection with them because I'm a youth worker.
Yeah.
And the younger ones I always seem to look out for, they always put the arm around their shoulder. So I had a good yarn with them afterwards. I said, lads, do you not realise your times are coming? They were 16 and 17 at the time. And you knew how good they were going to be. Well, I did anyway. And again, I wasn't far wrong saying that their times were coming.
Yeah.
So what was it? Got to the end of a camp, and then Coleraine, we never really done ourselves justice. We always had a great side, and never hit the heights that we should have, to be honest. We could have matched any team in the league or in any team in the cup on our given day, but just when it came to crunch time, we never got there.
Yeah.
And it's Oren is a super manager. Like, if I ever go into management in terms of adult and senior teams, that I'll use a lot of things that I learned off Oren.
Yeah.
So the way he spends time with person,
proved it professionally in Scotland as well.
100%. Mate, the way he spends time with players before their match and things like that, he leaves no player going on that pitch feeling clueless. Right. You know your job before you go on that pitch. Every single individual. And then in turn, the collective also know. So that's one thing I've always learned from Oren, and his man management skills are absolutely super.
Yeah.
But after Coleraine, I was just had a child and things like that, so I wanted to move closer to home, so I did.
Right.
Okay? And to be fair, it's probably the biggest regret that he ever did, not just signing for the start at you.
Right.
So I went to Carrick Rangers. I went to Carrick solely because I really liked the manager, Gary Haber. I liked him. I really liked him because me and him played in the Rose Bowl team together, my first Rose Bowl, and I always kept in touch with him, and still have a great relationship with him. But just Carrick, it's not that I felt that the team was overly bad, but the club structure was absolute shambles. So it was.
Struggled that year as well, didn't it? In general.
Just staying up. But sure, that's the year where I sort of made a fool out of myself. Tried to sign for the Star Christmas, and I'd signed the papers and all, and then came back that I couldn't go through, so I had to go back to Carrick with my tail between my legs.
Was this done kind of? Did Carrick know about it, or did you just?
Carrick were just not aware of it. Luckily, sort of Star put it in. Now I contacted Gary about it, and Gary's like, "Joe, no problem. You go with my blessing, mate." Now because it's probably my worst moment in football was Boxing Day at Carrick team. There was some kid that played ahead of me, and see when I say, I hate talking about players. See when I say he wouldn't get on for a team in CAF, and he was playing in an Irish League game. Now I'm not going to mention the kid's name, but oh my God, I was absolutely just sitting there going, "That's it. What am I doing here? Why am I wasting my time being here?" Yeah. So, and then as it says, I was sort of spoke to Sean Brown the next day. I was actually at Malachi Thompson's wedding the next day.
Right.
So it was, and I spoke to Sean. Sean says, "Well, mate, you know, Sean was always my go-to man the whole way through my Irish League career. Always spoke to him before signing for anyone. Always sought guidance of him. Always respected him. No, when I played first in the Star team, he was the man. He was my idol.
I was going to say, when you were a kid in Star 2A, he was towards the end of his career, but he was the leader of that.
He was the best, mate. He's the best player I've ever played with for Crumlin Star. Like, he's absolutely outstanding. So he is.
No, because I remember you being a young player, with quick as anything and loads of strength and power and all. Saucy just run around the pitch. He just so much.
I think I used to play left. I used to play left hand side or left wing back, and I just used to run, and he used to find you.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure he called me some horrendous names over the years, slagged my touch a bit, abused me a bit, but in terms of leadership and guidance and a mentor and someone and a role model, there's no better man who to look up to. Like,
yeah, top notch. So when you then signed for Star, what was the reason you had to stay at Carrick? Did you sign a full year contract with Carrick, or?
No, because I played too many senior level games.
Right.
I played 15 league games or something for Carrick. Right. I was sort of throwing the toys out of prom, but I think in hindsight, I always say to myself, why did I even sign here? I should have just signed for the Star. And I think it's the only move I've ever made for money, mate.
Right.
So there's I think it was just like, this will get me a couple of quid. I had, as I say, a new child on the way. Yep. Few things to pay for. This will get me. I don't know. It's about 120 quid a week, 100 quid a week or something. But this will pay for this.
It is a hard balance. Like, especially with a young family, it's a hard balance. You obviously want to enjoy your playing your football, but at the same time, sometimes you're going, I could provide more for my family by playing football, even if I don't enjoy it as much. So 100%. It's a hard decision to make. So it is.
It is, mate. But again, see, in terms of, I believe if you're not enjoying football or you're not enjoying something that you love so much, there's other ways to make money. Whether it be if you're get a second job in terms of doing deliveries or working somewhere else, I'm sure there's an easier way to make yourself 100 quid. Especially if you're not enjoying something. You know what I mean? But again, so sort of Carrick season ended. When Carrick stayed up, I was actually in Prague.
Right.
I think I went slightly AWOL. I didn't tell Gary I was going, and just never showed up to the Saturday. I was in Prague at one of my best mates, Stags, Michael. It's actually on his wedding party. I had it booked for months, and I was going for months. But that's sort of position I was at.
Did you play much after Christmas then? Did the guys?
I end up playing once. It took about 6 weeks for me to get back in, right. And then after that, I ended up playing a good lot. So that.
Yeah.
But again, the fans never really took to me after that. I wasn't the most sort of man to turn to in the change room no more. So, but it is what it is, mate.
Yeah.
But then back to Star. Actually signed for the Star even before Sean Brown had left.
Right.
So when I signed and Sean told me he was leaving, I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? So I was like, I wonder who's going to leave on the back of Sean leaving.
Yeah.
Because I basically signed back for the Star because I wanted to win the Premier Division. I wanted to go and win trophies. I knew Star were 1 or 2 players away from basically being able to do it. And again, signing, I knew it would have made a massive difference to the Star team. And when Sean told me he was leaving, I was like, oh my God. I was actually going to put my, because at the time I don't really know who was applying for it.
Yeah.
But I was actually going to put my name in the hat.
Right.
If I didn't know anyone who was applying for it. And I was about, what age was I? I think I was 27. I was planning, or 28. I was planning on being a player manager. And like,
you were worried about people leaving and you wanted to come in and win trophies, so you were like,
I wanted, yeah, and I think the boys would have trusted me if I had got it. Yeah. But at the time, thank God, she came in and turned around because I didn't want to play her manager. At this time, I was hanging on to her for dear life. I would have lost it a few years quicker.
Yeah, and then here, what a man just got in, too, such experience in the game, and then coming down to Crumlin Star.
Oh, definitely. Just brilliant. The whole from his been there, just his team talks are second to none. The changes he makes, people can call it luck, but they always work out. Absolutely superb. The
crystal ball as managers have.
Yeah, 100%. The mentality's installed in our team, and the boys within it is never to lose, regardless of what's left and what's in it. But that's evident of what we've done.
Yeah.
Now, again, he's had to make some harsh decisions along the way. He's had to fall out with some people and all that there. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, the man can only be judged by the trophies that he's won. Yeah. And from when was that? When did I sign there? We two came in the same day as I came in, and it was 7 trophies in 3 years before obviously this season and the pandemic coming in. Yeah. So, and that's not to be sniffed at. It's not as if they were lower level trophies. I mean, there was 3 Prems, 2 Borders, a Clarence, and intermediate. So,
she's pretty much dominated a competitive Premier Division the last 3 or 4 years since he's
come
now. So
we have, and there's a couple of times where during the year you're turning and going, oh no, like when was it? The second year we won it. First year we won it, it was sort of nip and tuck between us, Raphael and Downpatrick.
Yeah.
And we sort of get through. We get through at the end. The second year, we had a wee bit of a rut. So we did. We lost wee Smurf. He went somewhere. I can't even remember where he went. But wee Smurf does this now and again. Just split for 6 weeks. But we lost him. And James got injured. We got beat by Raphael 6-2. We got absolutely battered. So I think we're 4-0 down at half time up at our place.
Nice.
And that hadn't happened there, so we weren't used to it. So, but that was the sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. Before that, a week before that, we got beat by Dundallah, who ended up winning Dundallah who won the championship too.
Yeah.
And also got beat in the final. They beat us in the Intermediate Cup, so they did. But Ian gets sent off, and we still had lots of chances to win the game. And they end up scoring 2 goals in the last 10 minutes to beat us. And everything was just down. No, we were down. The management team were sort of batting their heads together. But then East Belfast came at the weekend after. And we always just show up against East Belfast, regardless. They came down, and we had a bit part team. I played up front, so I did.
Right.
Me and Big Digo played up front, and we absolutely tortured them with a sort of a makeshift team. But that makeshift team turned out ended up playing for about 10 games in a row and win 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So we were absolutely super. So we were, and then we ended up winning the league that year. Who would be it? We ended up winning it quite comfortably, so we did in the end. And then last year was the year of all years, like, to be honest.
Unbeaten.
The Border Cup win. Now, to be honest, we rode our luck there. We see, in terms of, you can call it riding your luck, you can call it putting yourself in a position to be in that to win the trophies. But everything just seemed to work out for us. So that guy, like Pidgey getting sent off in the Border Cup final, me scoring with my right foot to equalise in the last minute. No, I mean, I can't kick a ball with my right foot, or left foot, never mind my right. So, and then winning the penalties, and then Intermediate Cup again. Pidgey was involved in that situation as well, where Pidgey sort of went down for an ankle injury, and people will say he played on it a bit, but he was down there, and they hadn't got a stretcher to lift him off the pitch, and the snow and hail come on. And the referee ended up calling the game, and because they were beating us 2-0, and because it was before 60, it was the 61st minute, it had to be, is it 67 or 70? So they had to replay the game.
I'd actually forgot all about that happening last year.
So we replayed the game, and in the replay, we got a man sent off after 5 minutes. Mark Lyons got sent off.
Right.
So, and then we ended up beating Anna, who were a top side. I think they went up and got promoted, sort of did.
Yeah.
And so they were top side. We ended up beating them in penalties, and then we got the semi-final, Banbridge Rangers. To be honest, we scored in the 90th minute to beat them, but we should have had the game well out of sight. No, they shouldn't even have been in the game. And then the final was just a final. It was absolutely crazy. 90th minute. First half was all Crumlin Star. We had a lot of chances. Well, a lot of half. To be honest, there wasn't really any chances in terms of clear cut in the game. Yeah. But in terms of half chances, we had a lot. Second half, they had a bit of pressure without really troubling us. And then Chu makes this decision where he brings Pidgey on, a right back who hasn't played in 4 months from this Anna game. Yeah. No, or by 3 months. Brought Pidgey on with 20 minutes to go. Put Bobby, a right back, in the left midfield. Moved me from left midfield into centre midfield and took a striker off and pushed someone further forward. And we end up winning.
And you were all looking around going, what was that about?
I see when he done that, it's like, what are you doing? You have Miguel Chains, Ricky McCurvey on the bench. And like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, our two most attacking creative players on the bench, and you do this.
And it worked.
Well, Ricky ended up coming on, laying on the goal for Pidgey.
Yeah.
But it was just surreal. And then the only regret about that is we had to go to the next day after. We had to go in the Rose Bowl game.
Yeah.
We had to be on the boat at 6 or about 8 o'clock in the morning.
After,
so all the boys were out for second day, and I was just jealous. I was with him. See, to be honest, guy, my legs were hanging off me. I played a full season. Gaelic season was flat out, and the last thing I wanted to do was go to Scotland and play.
Yeah.
So, but again, we end up getting a winner, and we had a good night out on the Saturday night. So,
how many games did you actually lose that year in general? Because you didn't lose a league game, won the Intermediate Cup and the Border Cup. The Clarence Cup, maybe you lose a game just.
Who did we lose to in the Clarence Cup? Abbey Villa.
Right, and then any other cup competitions they just lose in as well. Irish Cup would take it.
Stevenson's. Who did we lose in Stevenson's to? We lost in the Irish Cup to Lorne in the last 16.
That's right, yeah.
So we beat Loughgall and Lorne. We actually went 1-0 up against them, so we did, and they beat us 2-1. And who did we lose to in the Stevensons? Can I remember?
But that's 3 games the whole year anyway, which is
considered. You know who we lost to? We lost to Sirocco Works and penalties.
Right, so that's not a loss in. It's loss in terms, but it's not a defeat in 90 minutes.
Yeah, we never got defeated. The only team that defeated us in 90 minutes that year was Lorne.
Right, just goes to show what it was and how much is dominated almost every competition is played in.
So
you can take it in the Irish Cup to Lorne as well too.
I know, but see the more I think about it, I didn't even realise that's the only game we sort of lost. Was Lorne.
Some achievement, like so is what you've done that year.
Yeah, but we've just sort of went from strength to strength. When boys have come in, we've replaced them, or when boys have left, we've replaced them. When boys think it's better elsewhere, to keep crawling back, and that's sort of, you can't see what we have. You can't get it anywhere else, mate. I mean that.
To the togetherness.
I mean, it's the togetherness, the crack, the madness in terms of absolute head cases in that team we play for, but no good head cases, and the fun we have, and the just it's brilliant. No, even smile talking about it because I love it so much.
Yeah, but that's a big difference between amateur football and senior football, where you really do. You go into amateur football and you just feel like we're all just mucking in together, just on the trenches together. Whereas in senior football, you may enjoy the change room, the coaching's great. You may enjoy playing for a certain club, but you don't get that togetherness that you would get in amateur football.
Most definitely, mate. You don't get that community feeling. You don't get that your family's involved in it. You don't get that sort of. You don't get that the big day out.
Yeah.
No, it's a big thing where it's the only way you get that. I'd say in the likes of the Irish leagues football is if you do get to a cup final, and they're few and far between. I mean, because I'd say you play for 4 teams in the Irish league, you have a chance to get to a cup final.
Yeah.
Any other team.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you're running about. You're trying to stay in the league. You're getting a couple of quid here and there. You're enjoying playing. But again, that's some boys' ambition. So it is, guy.
Yeah.
As it says, no. When I was growing up, I wanted to. Obviously, every kid wants to be a professional footballer when you play it. But in my head, I knew from a young age I wasn't the most overly gifted football player. So I found other ways and other to do it. No, look at better things that you don't have to be overly talented at, to be honest.
Is that what you think you separated you from the boys you played with at youth level to get you the Irish League? The fact that you concentrate on, you said about earlier, you were a lot fitter than our boys. Last 25 minutes of the game, we were keep going. You think your fitness is one thing? It's really pushed you.
Yeah, 100%. So,
because Saucy would have made fun of your first touch and all that. So I take it something got to the Irish League.
100%. I got a wee bit. My first touch got a hell of a lot better when I came back from America. When you had a bit of full-time coaching and my passing, that got a bit better. But before that, it's just a raw animal. You used to run at things and tackle like a head case.
So last year, then obviously our season got finished early. Last season, then you looked like you were on course again for another league title. Well, you definitely would have been competing with East Belfast and Ballinhead's Olympic. A lot of games still to be played. I spoke to you before, and you said to me that midweek games, that's your bread and butter. You're used to that, and that's when you come alive with Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So you would have had every confidence in winning the league. That the season is just finished. But on top of that, then the hard thing is that the fact that you've been doing this now for 3 or 4 years, winning so many trophies, always being the team to beat. What is the secret to keep you guys doing that? What do you have to keep doing? Do you have to rejuvenate constantly, or do you have to keep?
You have to keep signing. You have to keep signing players when you're on top.
Yeah.
There's no point having a team where it's stale, and that's one of the reasons why that we didn't win the Border Cup this year. That's one of the reasons why we didn't go so late in the Stealing Suns. That's one of the reasons why, even when you look at it, we lost a couple of games in the league, or we lost a game in the league because we weren't as hungry. We thought last year was the pinnacle, and instead of reaching further, some of the boys here, me included, 100% me included, I thought I could just show up and I was better than everyone else. And how dare he be in the same pitch as me? Where, to be honest, we got a serious kick up a backside a few times, whether it be scoring late winners for draws, whether it be getting put out of the the Clarence Cup by Ben Monaghan.
Yeah.
Now, we walked on that pitch thinking we were 25 million times better than them, and no way, Chew has never let that happen before, and it's just Chew. We always mention it, but I think after that game, his boys realised we needed to work harder. We hadn't got that. This is us against shoes. We thought we were the daddies.
Yeah.
So we were, and you have to earn the right to be the daddies. You have to earn the right to be the main man, and that's we always earned before. We're them few games, probably a period of about 10 weeks. We were just not good enough. We got beat by Shankill at our own pitch, and 4-3 or something, or 3-2, and it was an absolutely horrendous display from Crumlin Star Football Club.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Belfast Celtic, was it?
Belfast Celtic again. That's an our team. They showed up. They were ready for us. They had a game plan. They were more focused. Again, we just thought we were too good, so we did. Big Fitzy, he scored. He absolutely destroyed us in the first half. Now, again, as I'll say, second half I believe we absolutely battered them and we could have got something out of the game. But they were ready for it. They were hungry. They were, I'm going to knock Asians off their pedestal. And see if you're at the top, see if you're not hungry, then you're going to be knocked off your pedestal. And that's what that's sort of happened to us last year in a couple of cup decisions.
Yeah.
So
you've always, without me saying it in a bad way, you've always been very vocal about we are the best team, and that's when then targets go on your back. But then you have to do that at the same time. You have to when you are the best team, you have to fluff up your feathers and go, yeah, that's us. We're the team to come and beat, come and take us on. But then once you do it, then you have to maintain that level at all.
Definitely, mate. And that's what we sort of did last year, especially in the cup competitions. No, we never. The year before, as I says, we were that good. I mean, I'm the main cupper for it, and the main cupper in terms of winder. I mean,
yeah.
Anything to get up, anything to get.
Last the Distillery, I think it was you. I'm almost sure it was you wrote underneath when the draw came out against the Distillery. I can't remember what cup it was. Happy days, the £30 a week boys.
So that's what we done. We just used to wind up. No, again, that was to get them to hate us, because we love when a team hates getting in hating us. Yeah. Because it gets our boys rallied up, so it does. So if we get a team really at us in the first 10 minutes, then in turn it'll get our boys rallied up.
Because if you go into a game slow, if somebody makes it into a battle, that's when you come.
That's when we'll come alive, and it's good for us. You know what I mean? So, but at times, most of it's just about a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Especially with the likes of myself, Paul Pridgeon, we're the sort of crack, or the crack boys that run about. The social media pages absolutely torturing people, but there's no real harm in it. There's no real malice in it. Yeah. But again, it's just to get boys a bit of, especially East Belfast ones are the easiest ones to wind up.
There's been a lot of back and forward. So going forward next season, this season obviously looks like it's gone. Next season, East Belfast are going to be a big contender again. They're getting closer and closer, they feel, to taking your crown off you. So you just have to step it up again, basically.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have to step it up again. We'll have to sign well. We'll have to. She's been working quite hard and getting a few boys in. So we'll have to just keep on progressing.
Yeah.
When I look at our team against theirs, especially with Donny McKay, I believe our team's a hell of a lot better than theirs, but everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
So we made a great signing in Dean Smith, so we did as goalkeeper. So where last year we were chopping and changing goalkeeper every single week because my brother Kieran's still not fully recovered from injury and won't be probably for the next 8 months. So Dean, we had Shane Harrison on the ranks there for a while, but Shane's working in London now. So Shane was a massive loss to us last year, and having Dean in there, that's secure number one will be a massive bonus, especially the back four, because I think the season before, guy, in the league, we can see the 15 goals, and already after 10 games, we can see the 13 or something. So that's not us. No, we weren't used to conceding goals. We were normally as tight as a rack, and so, but that's hopefully again. We've had a good couple of sessions all early doors. We've Eddie Patterson on board in terms of coaching, which is absolutely outstanding. The sessions are second to none. So it's just improvement. But I hope so. I really, really hope that next year a couple of younger lads from the seconds, they've been knocking at the door. Hopefully they can step up their mark.
Yeah.
Because I see them in training, so I do. And they're good players, they're really good players. But when they get their chances in the matches, they just haven't been taken.
Yeah.
And they'll say it's favouritism, they'll say this, they'll say that. But when you get that chance, you need to make sure that whoever's coming after you, regardless of who they are, regardless if it's me, Bricky, or Aidan, James, Smurf, regardless, that you have made it impossible for you to lose that shirt.
Yeah.
And I think that's the attitude they have to go in with, not the attitude of I'm going to play here today. I don't even know if I'm going to get on. I don't even know how many minutes I'm going to get. They have to go in with that attitude as this is my opportunity. Yeah. And I have to make sure that you makes it impossible to take that shirt off me.
Yeah, because you're one club, but it's a different environment because you're going into the first team, which is a big step up, and then it's a winning environment. It's a team full of winners, squad full of winners. So you have to have that mentality along with boys who are there already. Otherwise,
100%.
Dropping back down again.
Definitely, and I do expect big things from like young Conor McLaughlin that this year. He's been working really hard. He's been struggling with injuries the last couple of years, so I expect massive things from Connor this year, like to play a huge part. Watching him in training, he's been in my groups the last few weeks. I'm watching him in training, and he's sharp, so he is, and I really look forward to seeing him up once the games and that start here.
Happy days, happy days. Mate, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on to some questions we got from Twitter. Not much. A couple of your mates decided to take an opportunity.
100%.
So, for example, Kieran Brado said about your first touch. We've already covered.
Oh, Kieran's one of my best friends, our second team manager. He retired at 23, but he's some player.
He's taking your first touch.
Yeah.
Kevin Trainer and Ardoin Tim were asking about your head, your
right.
head shape or your upside down head. One of them said. So
okay.
I'm just letting you know what these boys are saying. You can take it up with Emmons. Is that the slagging you get then to take it? Is it?
Mate, I'm used to when it went to ginger, it's now baldy. From being a ginger bee, it's a baldy bee, and so.
Soon you'll be an old bee. It's even worse.
100%.
Arne Agnew asked about your Ardon youth team. Do you do a bit of coaching there? I take it there as well.
Yes, mate. I coached an Ardon youth club team from when we were 6. I started 8 years ago with him, and I was at Cliftonville with him last year, mate. But I'm not going to do it no more. I took up a new role in the youth club, so
right.
And I haven't got the time on my hands in order to do it. National League coaching, mate, you're all over the country, so I'm not gonna. Haven't got the time, so I don't, mate. Especially with playing myself. And last year, I coached them last year with a very good wee team. A couple of young lads in Northern Ireland set up and all that there, but it's just I never give them the time they deserved. So I'm going to go back and take the wee under 6s for Ardon again and smile and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That would lead me on then to Tommy Phillips' question, who said about you always returning to a Star. We've covered that, and you did have an opportunity before to come in to manage a Star. Would you long term like to stay at Crumlin Star and eventually manage the club?
100%. Will always be one of my dreams. I'll always dream of managing the Star. Now I know Chew's not going away for a while, but again, you're looking in the background. Big Paul Byrne, who would have played, he's part of the coaching staff now as well. So again, hopefully within the future, I see myself and Paul Byrne and young Paul, Chew's son. I see being a part of our coaching staff, but hopefully not for another 8 years, mate.
You've plenty of years left in you playing. You may as well stick at it.
Well, I'm only 31, so hopefully, I mean, the CBS pandemic, you'll get me out of. I'll not be in this house once everything gets set free.
Mate, you're a long time retired. Trust me, I've been coaching for 15 years, and I feel like I'm 65.
100%, mate. It puts years on you. It's even worse than playing.
Big time. Mate, that's everything. Thank you very much for giving up your
Super
time.
Guy. Thank you. Enjoyed that.
Yes, mate. I have one more question for you. The podcast is called He Doesn't Want It, after something we say regularly on a Saturday. Would that be, what would your favourite saying be on a Saturday? Or what would be the worst saying you hate hearing on a Saturday?
Worst saying. What was it? I've heard that he doesn't want it. What else have I heard? He's brutal.
He's our best player.
So I use all of them quite a lot. But again, when you think about it, it's not nice saying it to people.
No.
But when I go across that lane, I'm a different animal than when I'm off a pitch, mate. Yeah. I go across that lane and turn into a person sometimes I don't like being. But it's all in the course of winning.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
So,
mate, good luck next year.
Yep.
I hope next season you continue your success as you've been having. Obviously, this season's a wee bit of a letdown, and we'll just have to kind of go again. But thank you very much for giving up your time once again. The podcast is sponsored by Learners Ross Driving School and Jumbo Park, and we'll be back with another interview next week. Thank you.
Brilliant, guys. Thanks, mate.